everybody, and welcome to this week's Marvel Watch Along with the newest episode of What If. And it looks like we'll be seeing a different version of Killmonger, which I'm very excited for. But before we get into What If, I feel like we have to address that Hawkeye trailer. Holy crap, that was awesome. What did you guys think of it?
I want to see Rogers the musical.
Yes,
Rogers the musical needs to become a thing.
Man, I know there's a lot of people say that that's Chris Evans in it, like as
Thor.
I hope they're right. I hope they're right so much.
It'd be great. Fun. It'd be great with him appearing in something like Hawkeye, which like you'd never expect him to come back in.
But as Chris Evans, as Thor.
Yeah.
Right. He's just playing himself. But and also just on a personal note, it's just my luck. I mean, you guys know I've been dealing with the fires for the last 2 weeks. I'm finally home. The Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped the day I evacuated from Tahoe, and the Hawkeye trailer drops the day I come back. So, screw you, fires. That's all I gotta say.
They're giving you like a moment of happiness in a very stressful day.
Yeah, no, that helps. And thank God we got Wi-Fi in my car, so I could, I could get those going while I'm driving 500 miles away.
Well, I love the trailer. The dynamic between Kate Bishop and Clint looks very fun, and Haley Steinfeld looks like it's going to kill it as Kate Bishop. Yeah. And I know this is a personal thing. I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I love that we're getting the Christmas theme in it. That just looks like it's going to be completely ridiculous, and they're going to make as many Die Hard jokes as possible. So I'm totally here for it.
Marvel meets Die Hard. I'm down.
I'm kind of the opposite. Like I don't like Christmas stuff. Like I like Die Hard Christmas stuff. So like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon.
Like the way how Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. You know, like it is. Like it's thematically, like not only does it take place Christmas Eve, but thematically it has so much in common with other Christmas movies. It's definitely a Christmas story. Christmas Story, I like A Christmas Story, but just from the trailer, it feels like a Shane Black thing. And like that kind of stuff. You know, like I know it's not Shane Black, but Iron Man 3, I know a lot of people were like with Iron Man. I loved it because I also loved Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and this just felt like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Iron Man. So I'm hoping that what we saw in the trailer is an accurate depiction of what the series actually turns out to be.
I think it will be. I think most of the trailers haven't been like misleading. I mean, obviously, like WandaVision was mysterious, but it wasn't like out and out misleading. So
it didn't steer us in the wrong direction.
Right. So I think it should be pretty close. The Rogers musical, though, I love that it looks like Hamilton.
Right.
The poster.
Yeah. That's great.
Amazing choice.
We got to get Lin-Manuel Miranda in the MCU somehow.
Maybe he's like good. We're gonna see him backstage, like he wrote it. That would be. Pretty
that would
he's
be
just playing Lin-Manuel Miranda in the MCU. That'd be great.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the chat, Toku is asking, do we think this is Hawkeye's retirement show to like Kate become Hawkeye?
I think that it's going to be the kind of transition of Kate becoming the main Hawkeye, and I think it's going to be maybe not necessarily him completely retiring, but definitely stepping out of the spotlight, out of that Avengers area, because he's done a lot, and I think he's trying to kind of have some time with his family. I mean, we didn't see his wife at that dinner, which is interesting. And he's got hearing aids. So I would not be surprised necessarily if he was like, okay, my body's been kind of banged up from all the craziness, and I murdered a bunch of folks during the snap. Maybe I should take a step back.
Yeah. Well, he's also been trying to take a step back since Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I retire for 5 minutes and it all turns to shit.
This is the answer. You can't just retire. You have to train the next one. That's
exactly. You got to go through that mentor stage, right?
Yep, totally.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Also, super excited to see Haley Steinfeld do Kate Bishop. I finally watched Bumblebee the other night while I was on my road trip with her in it. She was awesome.
So good.
And I mean, by far the best Transformers movie, but
absolutely, I agree.
On another note, but no, I can't wait to see her take on Kate Bishop. But this should be just the start of a really long run for her.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's going to be very fun. I'm very excited too to see how Yelena plays into it.
Yeah.
I want to see, like, I obviously want to see a confrontation between Hawkeye and Yelena. I also just want to see Yelena and Kate Bishop because I feel like that's going to be the most like snarky pair ever.
Oh God, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and Julia Louise Dreyfus is supposed to be in it in some capacity, right?
I don't know that for sure,
Like,
but I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be
shocked.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd
And
actually
we,
probably lean
Tessa,
a little more
whatever.
surprised if she's not in it at some point.
Valentina Allegra, Contessa Valentina
Tina
Allegra
de
de Fontaine.
Fontaine. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll go with
It's stuck in
Contessa.
my brain forever.
It's always just you and Contessa Valentina, longest name ever.
I hope someone says that in the MCU now. That would be perfect.
God, Deadpool in the MCU, I keep saying it every week. Deadpool in the MCU is going to be absolutely glorious.
Can you imagine if she tried to like recruit him? It would just be like the most disastrous
like,
conversation.
Well, yeah, it would be like Contessa Valentina, whatever. You know what? I don't care. Who are you?
And then she tries to recruit him, and she's like, fake laugh, hiding real pain.
Yeah, nice.
Like, oh, you're serious?
Right? He's like, I'm not really a team player. I'm not sure what you're going for here.
Have you seen either of the last two? I was saying, have you seen Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2? Hell, have you seen X-Men Origins Wolverine?
And then he just is like, well, wait, no one should see that.
God.
Oh man. But no, I'm very excited for Hawkeye. I mean, we say every time that we're excited for the next one, but I will say I wasn't expecting to be as excited for Hawkeye as I am. I didn't think I would I wasn't planning to not watch it or anything. I just was like, okay, it's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, Hawkeye gets such the short end of the stick because he's been around forever. He's been around for 10 years, but he's always regarded as like, you know, everyone's third or fourth least favorite Avenger or something. And even like in his own, exactly. And even in his own solo project, everybody's, I think, at least as excited, if not more, for Kate Bishop. But I think this trailer did a really good job at, setting up his own story. And I mean, I'm really excited, especially too, because it says this is going to be him like post Avengers. So kind of leaving the team behind and, finding Kate Bishop doing her thing. And it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited.
You say leaving the team behind. Iron Man's dead. Black Widow's dead. Steve kind of effed off.
Cap's retired.
There's really only Hulk and then Thor, but Thor left. So I don't know he's leaving the team behind.
Yeah.
There's kind of no team anymore.
Not his original team, at least.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, please don't make me deal with the newbies. Like,
I can't be a teacher again. I'm already doing this for Kate. I already got this once.
Tester Cantlon says Hawkeye has always been a side character most of the time, and I hope that Hawkeye hits the spotlight. So do I, because I definitely agree with that. Like for Hawkeye, like he doesn't really have any powers. He just shoots things and can aim really well. So so like for people watching him, I feel like he's always been like kind of like an underdog because they're like, oh well, he just shoots things. Whereas like, Doctor Strange does magic. Iron Man has this like mechanical suit that can fly. The Hulk turns into a giant green monster. Like everyone else, with the exception of like Black Widow, has like crazy powers and things that they can do. Him and Black Widow are kind of like the humans.
The regular people sort of.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people just kind of like Black Widow just because it's Scarlett Johansson. As far as like MCU goes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'll shift to DC for a second. If anyone has seen like that Crisis on Infinite Earths giant crossover, it was my comment with the monitor. It's like, your plan was Robin Hood, bro. Why? It's kind of the same with Hawkeye. You're like, you don't plan on Hawkeye defeating Thanos. You just don't.
Nah.
It's not a knock. It's not a knock against him. He even makes a joke in Age of Ultron where it's like, I shoot arrows.
City's flying. We're fighting an army of robots, and I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
Like, it's not his fault. his reality is ridiculous.
Yeah. And you know what? I got to give the MCU credit. Outside of like the first Avengers movie where they really, really shoved him off to the side, Ultron and Endgame did a pretty solid job of giving him like a good character background and kind of, differentiating himself a little bit from what he is in the comics. I mean, especially with that Ronin storyline, which I can't wait to see come back at least a little bit in Hawkeye, because it seems like we're getting at least a little bit of a tease of that. But the movies have done a decent job of, giving him his own shine at some points. I mean, Thor and Avengers and Civil War were one thing, but yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah.
No, I think Ronan's
sorry.
gonna be very cool. I was just gonna say
episode,
Ronan's cool.
The episode is up now. It is called "What If Killmonger Rescued Tony Stark?" 34 minutes. So it's right around the same length as most of the others. And the description is: an American soldier called Killmonger rescues Tony Stark when his Humvee is attacked in Afghanistan.
No
So
thumbnail yet.
we saw what I'm assuming is the kind of nexus point of the episode to a degree in the trailer, right?
When
I think so.
When he throws the bomb.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this because we're going all the way back to the moment that really created the MCU.
Yeah.
Not to mention, this scene happened in the MCU's first 5 minutes of existence, right?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was the very first scene we ever saw in the MCU in Iron Man 2008. So that's going to be a big nostalgia factor here tonight.
Definitely. Oh man, I'm excited. And with that mid-season trailer teaser that dropped earlier, I'm assuming some of that footage is from this because it looks like we're gonna have Pepper Potts fighting alongside like Shuri and the Dora Milaje.
Right.
So, I'm so excited. It's gonna be completely ridiculous and awesome.
I'm pumped for that. And one thing I was thinking too, I remember saying before the season started, like I was wondering how all these episodes are going to connect with each other. We're 5 episodes in and they haven't really connected at all so far. I mean, we've only got this one and then 3 more. So I'm really curious to see if that comes in at all before the end of the season.
Let me ask you guys a question, because we've been talking for the past, you guys have been talking for the past 3 weeks. I've been talking since last week about how the Watcher has been becoming more and more involved in the events that are going on. And last week, he wasn't just like a shadow anymore. Like you actually saw him, like full body. Like, I mean, we saw him at the end of the Doctor Strange episode where he talked to Doctor Strange. But in the real world, in the background shots that he appears in, you actually saw flesh this time around.
Yeah.
How much more do you think we're going to see him here than we have previously?
He was almost like he still had a little bit of a translucence to him last week, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this week he was completely solid. Honestly, I almost feel like the Party Thor episode is the perfect place for him to actually come into like the story, not necessarily to actually be fully involved yet, but just to like, oh, he's on Earth now because he'll blend in.
Yeah, and I heard that one of the episodes where he's supposed to get really involved is the one where Tony goes to Sakaar instead of the Hulk or Thor. So I remember there, like in that little leaked Lego set that they had a little Watcher figure along with like Tony and I think Valkyrie. So it could be either of those episodes, the Party Thor one or the Sakaar one. So.
Well, we know one episode got pushed to season 2. I'm really curious what episode that is, because initially I was assuming it was the Sakaar one.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Gamora so often, but
yeah, exactly.
We also saw shots of like the Grand Master and stuff in the teaser. So I'm curious if we're going to see the Sakaar episode this season, or if he's maybe like DJing at the Party Thor. I can't tell. I'm very interested to see.
Me too.
But no, I think we're gonna get closer. I feel like the Watcher's not gonna get fully involved until something breaks and we have to have the Guardians of the Multiverse really form together. Like I don't even know that he'll tell them. I could totally see him just like snatching them from their universe and dropping them into a different one and being like, figure it out,
It's broken. Fix it.
Right?
I gotta say that one part from last week, right when Janet killed Hank, probably my favorite Watcher moment ever. He's like, "Oof,
Right? And then, oof, that happened. Like,
Even
dang,
the
man.
almighty, omnipresent Watcher was just like, well, that's gonna leave a mark.
He's like, that was rough to watch. Well, I'm out. Not dealing with this anymore.
All right,
All right.
that was amazing.
Oh my gosh, completely. That was such a bonkers episode. What did you think of that episode, Richard? Because you weren't on last week.
Yeah, no, I got to watch it the next morning, and holy crap, what an episode! I mean, first of all, I thought it was really interesting how they did the Nexus event where Janet had contracted the virus in the quantum realm. That was a super cool way to introduce zombies. But then, I mean, that team up with Spider-Man and Happy and Okoye and Hulk and everybody, that was a great team up. And we got a bunch of great MCU references in there. And I mean, zombie Scarlet Witch at the end. Holy shit.
Yeah, right? You're like, how can I make Scarlet Witch scarier? Make her a zombie. Oh, great. Yeah, totally. That'll end well.
All right, I'm out.
I still really enjoyed Happy Hogan. Just blam,
He was
blam,
amazing.
blam,
Blam, blam, blam, blam, blam.
I love that they were like, okay, we'll take a few fighters and throw them in, but also let's take the most optimistic Marvel characters and throw them into a zombie apocalypse and see what happens.
Spider-Man in a zombie apocalypse.
Spider-Man has a vlog. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man.
Which I love. Him, never expected it. Him and Kurt, freaking amazing.
Amazing. I love Kurt.
I also loved how every adult there was like humoring Spider-Man because it's like, he's 16. This sucks. Like, let's let him make a stupid video.
What else is he gonna do?
Yeah. And the whole thing between him and Okoye was like, you don't have horror movies in Wakanda? No, we have American reality TV shows.
Wrong accent, but yep. Perfect.
Sick burden on all of us.
There it is. Yep.
African, Transylvanian, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was great. Also, our first mention of Uncle Ben in the MCU.
I know, right? That was very interesting. I'm curious.
It would come what if.
Right? It would be in the thing where you're like, oh, it's sort of canon.
Yeah. A quick side note to Spider-Man No Way Home. What I always fantasize about the whole Uncle Ben thing, I always wanted them to get actually Tobey Maguire to play the MCU's Uncle Ben. Like they could age him up a little bit and maybe like have a flashback moment with him and Tom Holland in number 3 before we knew it was No Way Home.
Like Tom Holland is like 4?
I don't know, maybe 13 or something. I don't know. But that's who I wanted to be the MCU's Uncle Ben. But we're probably getting it back as Spider-Man. So
I love that you're like, let's make Aunt May a cougar. That's your go-to in that situation.
I mean, it is Marissa Tomei.
I mean, yeah. If it was anybody but Marissa Tomei, I would say I'm absolutely crazy.
Oh my God. So good. Okay,
Yeah.
well, it is midnight right now, so let's jump into this. You guys want to give me a countdown?
All right, 1 second. I'm loading it up.
No, we're not waiting for you, Richard. You'll have to catch up.
Hey, I've been on the road for 3 weeks. Give me a damn break.
It's a long time to be driving.
Yeah, wow.
My car does not get that kind of mileage.
I will tell you guys about this road trip. We probably drove a solid 3,000 miles between California and Oregon, back and forth multiple ways. And I will tell you about it, guys, after the show.
Yes, the Richard road trip breakdown that we've all been waiting for.
Do you have a slideshow to go with it?
There's a couple pictures on the phone I'm using, but the Richard travel slideshow that nobody asked for.
Like, here's the desert.
Yeah.
This
more
is desert about 20 minutes later.
Yeah. I did see the giant redwood trees. That was fun. The 300-foot tall ones. Mm-hmm. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah. You ready?
Yep. Ready to go.
All right. We will get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
All right.
Skip intro. Never.
Never.
Yeah, it's not like it's, Star Trek Enterprise.
I don't know. There are some intros you just don't skip. Like, there's about 2 or 3 TV shows I don't do it for, and Marvel.
I mean, I will say the Star Trek Lower Decks intro, very fun.
Oh yeah. Like the only time that I'll skip an intro is if I'm binging a show.
Right. Yeah.
Like if I'm watching like 3 or 4 episodes in a row, I'm like, okay, no, I don't need this.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, I got that.
His intro already feels different.
Okay, Michael B. Jordan.
Chadwick
Okay,
Boseman.
got Chadwick Boseman. Okay, all the Black Panther crew.
Andy
Claw,
Serkis, so
nice. Sorry, he got done so
Paul Bettany,
dirty.
so we're getting Vision or Jarvis.
Paul Bettany.
Leslie Bibb.
Oh, that's Christine, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Iron Man Christine.
Yeah, I figured. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Clarification.
Not the Stephen King.
Well, we just had another Christine 2 weeks ago.
What's Doctor Strange Christine doing here?
Yeah, right. Yeah. God, Jeffrey Wright was so perfect to do this.
Yeah. I love this music.
Score has been really good for this one.
Laura Kemper's so good.
Oh, yeah.
There
Okay.
he is. Look at him.
Yeah.
That's definitely here we go.
Are you gonna have the music playing? Yeah.
Yes, it's very cool. You can totally tell this isn't Robert Downey Jr.
It's close though. I feel like this is better than some of the ones we've gotten.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say Josh Keaton did a pretty good job with Steve Rogers.
It threw me off at first with Steve Rogers.
Just for a second, but
and
it's
I
weird.
like the voice actress who did Black Widow usually because she does Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, but I didn't like it as much as Black Widow. Damn, Killmonger, make an entrance.
Okay.
I love Tony Stark so much. Ooh, yes.
Whoa.
Oh, this music is so perfect for this moment.
All right, so
man.
If he was saved by Killmonger, why did he build the Iron Man suit?
This isn't. This is
just recap. Wow.
There's that scene.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff Bridges. Oh my God.
Still douchey. Oh no, he's gonna be such a jerk.
He's not going to be humbled like he was. So he goes the complete opposite of Iron Man.
Oh, he's still a Navy SEAL. Happy. No. There she is. He's a Navy SEAL. He's not going to answer that.
Whoa.
Do you think it was specifically that they have an episode that features the Ten Rings after Shang-Chi?
Maybe.
Oh, dang.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, damn.
I brought receipts. Amazing.
Damn.
Wow.
Punch him in the face. Oh man. Yeah, Happy.
There we go, Happy. I got him.
I love Killmonger's music.
Oh my god.
That's not Pepper Potts, right?
I
mean,
know.
it's the character. It's not
Yeah.
the voice actress. I mean,
We didn't see Gwyneth Paltrow in the.
no.
I didn't see her in the credits. No.
Your Butch I'm Sundance, just for clear.
Wow. So Gwyneth Paltrow and Tony Stark, or not Gwyneth Paltrow, Pepper Potts and Tony Stark probably don't get together here.
I know it's only a little bit, but
Wet work is bad stuff.
Is that Don Cheadle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like him.
So he's doing good. It's Killmonger, of course.
What's with Tony's? Ooh, I like how those cars are drawn.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Is he though?
Look at all the medals he has hanging off his thing.
Yeah.
That's not probably like 20 on there or something.
That's a lot. That's a crazy amount.
Yeah, what? Rows of 4. It looks like
16.
That's 16 medals.
Oh my god. They're gonna science bro bond.
Oh my god.
It's a Gundam.
Holy crap!
What the
I like anime. Nice, Josh.
Wow.
Wow. We get this instead of Iron Man. All right.
Yeah, this seems like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? This seems like a recipe to awesome. It's gonna end horribly, but it's gonna be a great ride.
I mean, yeah.
But it's Tony Stark, so it's Tony Stark sans humility. So what do you expect?
That's real steel.
Oh
They're
my god.
drones. Interesting. So these are the things. This is like what looks like Hammer was actually trying to make in Iron Man 2.
Yeah. The heads anyway. Yeah.
There's Paul Bettany.
Man, I want pizza now.
God, me too.
Right? No, that's a dumb idea. Wow.
Oh god.
I knew we were gonna see Tony wanting vibranium out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Claw.
Yeah.
Not a chance. Oh my god.
Very good manipulator. I forget that Killmonger is like all about the subterfuge.
I was so mad when they killed Claw.
I loved when his arm got cut off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sure
Right?
that's gonna be okay.
Like, it's not that bad, right?
That's bad.
I have grown much fonder of Ultron over the more times I've watched it.
Do you think Killmonger is just using Tony, or do you think
Oh,
they genuinely
yeah.
become friends?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if this was him.
Yeah.
Killmonger turning on him.
I don't know, turning on him, but like using him to
Oh,
get
no,
the.
it's Black Panther.
Oh,
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, damn. T'Challa.
well, he's dead.
Does he seem a bit more vicious than usual?
A little bit.
What, Panther?
Yeah.
He's killing fools.
Oh.
Damn!
Claws.
It's weird seeing the mask move.
Sorry, cuz. There it is.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he's going to kill Rhodey.
Oh, damn it.
Invisible. No, you don't. That is not a taser. There it is.
There we go. There's the Killmonger we know.
Oh.
Really?
Damn, dude. That felt unnecessary.
It was unnecessary.
Wow, you framed him? Rude.
Yeah, I knew he was going to turn full Killmonger at some point.
The fact that they just killed Black Panther feels like worse.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we got Star-Lord T'Challa first.
Oh, me too.
You dick.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, God.
There we go. See,
Tony
boy,
knows.
Tony is smart as hell, bro.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Oh.
It's a drone. What are you doing?
It's a vibranium drone.
Well, only the power source is vibranium.
Fair enough.
It's still metal. Why are you shooting it?
Yeah. course the shirt had to come off.
Animated. Oh, this is not great.
Oh, that's not good. Got the Black Panther music again. Oh no!
Ouch.
Whoa.
Ooh, that was interesting. How they
was a cool
slow-moed
shot.
that.
Jeez.
It's like his shoulder. Why did he die? That's literally his shoulder. That wouldn't kill you.
We're only halfway through this episode.
Oh my god. There's Pepper.
Oh.
Is that Ross? That seems like nonsense Ross would do.
Yeah.
It is Ross.
Yeah.
It says Ross.
Got it on his shirt. Yep.
That's not how that works.
Yeah. And also,
isn't it though?
Killmonger's.
You can't commandeer a billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah, Killmonger's way less likable in this one.
That's saying something.
Yeah, he wasn't. I was say like he's pure evil in
Well,
this
because
one.
at least at Black Panther, he was slightly a sympathetic villain because you understood why he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah, he still wanted to.
Not so much.
He still wanted to murder millions and millions of people. So
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, the difference is he's more successful here.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily he's like more likable. We're just seeing his plan work better.
Yeah, he killed Tony, Rhodey, and the Black Panther within the span of a day?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is weird seeing an episode from a villain's perspective.
But it's not sympathetic, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like pure
how
villain.
Claw was like whistling at him like a dog.
No, he's gonna
Yeah,
die.
kill him. Yeah.
There we go.
So this is still the same.
Here's
now
Black
we're
Panther.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, this is. Yep. He doesn't use the body bag this time. That's cool.
Sherry looks like she's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like 5 feet tall.
Is she supposed to be the like? Well, I mean, it is at the time of Iron Man, so it is earlier.
That's true.
Yeah, it would have been like what 5-6 years before Black Panther happened.
Yeah, so 12 actually might not be that far off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Deceitful. He's gonna murder him.
Oh yeah, T'Chaka's dead. Who you just killed. He has no idea. Wow. That's cold, Okoye.
So flippant about us. I love it.
That's cold.
That set a giant red flag to Chaka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's general. That's
Oh.
We haven't seen that before, have we?
Probably passed it off to Okoye when she got older.
Interesting. Look at him. His plan.
Or after T'Chaka died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been it. God, you son of a bitch.
We're just gonna see him win.
Yeah, there's no. Oh my god. Friggin' Killmonger. And they're all behind him too. All the Wakandans.
It's interesting because in that poster that got leaked,
Killmonger
was part of.
Or no, he's got to cut off Jarvis so that Wakanda gets control of
the drones.
And then he'll do whatever so that he's in command in Wakanda, and then go out into the world with the drones and take everyone out.
But still him winning.
He's family, he says.
What's interesting is in the poster that got leaked with the Guardians of the Multiverse, Killmonger was part of it.
Huh.
So
yeah.
Whereas, like, Doctor Strange, by the end, he had a bit of a redemption of realizing what he'd done wrong. I don't see Killmonger having a redemption arc here.
I don't see how Killmonger gets redeemed from this.
But he is a very good, like, strategic mind, so I also get why you might want him as part of the Guardians.
Yeah.
Maybe he could end up being, like, the big villain or something?
I don't know.
Try to betray the team or something?
I don't know about that, because if he ends up becoming king of
Wakanda,
I don't see him being like, okay, cool, now I'm going to destroy the multiverse, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Shuri, you were right.
You were right.
Stabby. You just showed Wakanda to the U.S. military.
Mm-hmm. And now
there we go.
Oh, nobody saw that?
That man was a villain?
That man was a villain.
You're the worst. Those are cool capes.
Oh my god. Nice.
Man, I now want to see Angela Bassett as like a Dora Milaje girl. Right?
That would have been badass. Oh, shut the hell up.
I mean, the riding the rhino is cool, but you suck.
You suck, Killmonger. He did this just to make himself look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He becomes the heir. He kills off the royal family quietly.
Saves Wakanda from imminent death.
I love this music.
Pretty great.
I love how the composer incorporated the established MCU music and all this.
Yeah.
It's very
She
cool.
did. She did such a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Solid move.
Oh.
Oh.
As an Iron Man fan, what if is rough on Tony Stark?
Seriously. Are there any original Avengers that have
There's
had it
Watcher
okay
again.
so far?
I don't think so.
I mean, all of them died in episode 3. Tony got killed here too.
They were zombies.
They were all zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna murder the king right now? He's gonna, right?
Like.
Look at him. He's
Oh
so
no,
gonna do
he's
it.
getting the.
He's Black
He's becoming
Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely part of the Guardians then, because he's the Black Panther in the promos.
Right.
He's the worst.
Who's he gonna see?
His dad, probably. Or maybe T'Challa. There he is.
There we go.
Was it worth it, you dick? Ooh. I hope when he dies, he's like evil, like totally haunted and everything.
Mm.
Oof. That's not great.
Yeesh. Yeah, that's not great.
Can you imagine if Killmonger did it? Oh, hey,
What
Sherry.
the?
Hey, genius.
Oh. Oh. Okay. All right.
Okay, what is the footage of Pepper Potts fighting with Shuri?
I mean, it's gotta be later.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
Maybe
Shuri.
you're right, Richard. Maybe Killmonger does end up being the big bad and they all take him down. And then we get to see T'Challa be like, well, have fun here with everyone torturing you.
Oh, man.
Man, that was insane. Killmonger won.
Killmonger totally won.
I mean, the one thing that's not great is he showed America where Wakanda is and made them all assume that Wakanda was like an enemy country. So
Yeah.
that's sure to bite him.
Oh, it has to.
Man, I love those cars. Those are just, the production designer drew those beautifully.
Oh, yeah. Those are so cool.
Okay, well, that was
an episode.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say because we've had different genres for every episode. I'm like, what's the genre for this? Bad guy wins? Like,
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Well, I mean, that's what Infinity War was.
I mean, yeah.
Bad guy won.
Yeah. Touche.
I mean, it's kind of a spy genre, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite the same as like Winter Soldier, but similar.
Yeah. Similar vibes.
Yeah, well, it's Winter Soldier if told by Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
But this one changed a lot. Like, this wasn't just like what if Black Panther was different. This like picked Killmonger out of Black Panther and put him into an entirely different place in time.
Yeah. And, the thing I'm loving about these episodes too is like when we started off the early ones, like with Captain Carter and the T'Challa Star-Lord one, it really pretty much told like one story with, obviously the details change, but in these later episodes, we're getting like hints of 2 or 3 different movies all in one episode. I mean, last one was Infinity War and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, we had the entire series
And
big week in episode 3. Oh, and zombies, yeah. Which, side note, I can't believe they might actually be developing a full-on zombies project.
Like side note on your side note, it's Mark Millar, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's well, we'll see. Well, it's. I also think that it hasn't been as many movies as you think it was, because last week with zombies, it picked up with Hulk crashing down through the through the Sanctum Sanctorum. So it picked. So it was Infinity. It was the time that Infinity War happened that we saw.
Right.
And then the week before that with Doctor Strange, that was outside of all of the movies that like picked up at the beginning of Doctor Strange and just like showed us an entirely new story without any of the rest of the MCU stuff happening at the same time.
Yeah,
that one was crazy. And then plus we got pretty much the MCU Strange 2 before Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And then like the second episode I think is really the only one that kind of covered multiple movies.
Yeah, like combined them. This is probably closest to that, where they just took 2 movies and really combined them in a way that was completely different. I mean, like you could definitely tell it didn't really take the movie itself from Guardians of the Galaxy with the second episode, but it took the characters and the like setting and everything. This really took like pieces of both movies and combined them in a way that was really interesting and worked really well. Like Cloud is a really good example. Like we knew he was an associate of Tony Stark's, so bringing that in, very smart. Like Killmonger and Tony Stark are weirdly the perfect characters to combine because there is so much overlap with them.
Right. I mean, especially on the Claw front. I mean, they introduced Claw in Ultron, but Tony had obviously known him for years before that, and, just interacted with them on black market stuff. But no, I mean, you're right. This one had, I think, the most core stories from multiple movies more than any episode yet, because we got pretty much the entire Iron Man story. We got Obadiah being outed as a traitor.
The important movie beats were in like the first 5 minutes.
Well, because with this, like it literally changed the course. I mean, all these have changed the course of the MCU, but with this movie specifically, it picks up at the beginning of Iron Man, and then what we know happened in the Iron Man didn't happen. So everything after that was automatically changed because Tony Stark didn't have to build the Iron Man suit, which means that the Avengers Initiative never happened.
Right.
So we don't know.
The Avenger Initiative started with Captain Marvel.
That's where we got the idea.
Yeah. But like the modern Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
Because like there was no team at the point in time when Tony Stark had gone over to.
Right.
Yeah, and Captain Marvel was still off in the universe somewhere.
Right, because we also know like back in the 80s or like early 90s or whatever, Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne were also doing like missions
field stuff. Yeah.
So I don't know whether that was before or after Captain Marvel. It might have been before, might have been around the same time.
Before, but it also could have been happening around the same. It depends on when Janet died.
Yeah.
Well, because I remember he said I think it was 1987 that she went into the quantum realm, and Captain Marvel was in 95.
Yeah. So there has been superheroes around before Iron Man, but as far as like the MCU goes, or like where the MCU started, it started with him, and then because he didn't build the Iron Man suit, everything that came because he built the Iron Man suit never came to be.
Yep.
Exactly.
And you have Killmonger, like when Killmonger in Black Panther put his plan in motion, he didn't really have a lot of like anything behind him other than I have a plan and I'm going to be able to get into Wakanda. Here he had money, he had power, he had the entire
resources,
American military. Like,
I mean, he had an army behind him already before he even got to Wakanda.
Yeah. But I mean, like in the regular movie universe, Killmonger had been in the army,
right,
prior to that, right?
Navy SEALs, yeah.
Him being Navy SEAL was not new. He was Navy SEAL and then became kind of a shadow.
So maybe
Black Ops kind of thing.
Yeah.
So potentially, what happened in this episode had been part of his plan, but originally in the movie version in Iron Man, he wasn't able to make it there to actually save Iron Man from being part of the attack, and him actually getting there to do that was what set off the Nexus event.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. Or he came across the plans and that set it off. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he just didn't come across the plans and he actually was with his team in the original version, the 400 clicks away.
It could be either of those.
Yeah. No, it's very, very interesting. I am a little bummed that he totally betrayed Tony. I mean, we saw it coming, but I think it would have been really interesting to see him and Tony working. Like, I think it would be really interesting to have Tony just go full on villain.
Yeah, like full on crazy.
Yeah,
or even Killmonger go full on good guy.
I was kind of hoping for the Killmonger maybe having to take as a good guy kind of thing, but clearly that didn't work out.
So we kept seeing Black Panther and all the promos. We're like, oh, it's Killmonger. Oh, he's not evil. Oh, never mind.
Right, like I kind of wanted to see him inside the Gundam instead of them being drones.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like having those as the Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Because Killmonger was a fan of anime. Like that would have been great.
Also, as proven by Iron Man 2, drones don't work.
That's
correct.
That's
why he used them. He totally was like, this is some Justin Hammer nonsense. This is perfect. This will work great.
Yeah. I gotta say, as like mid-level as Iron Man 2 was, Justin Hammer and Whiplash made for some great moments in that movie.
We have to see Justin Hammer again in Armor Wars. We just have
we have to.
I watched before watching Shang-Chi, I watched the Hail to the King short. And I completely forgot that Justin Hammer was in that. So as soon as he popped up, I was like, we need more of this guy. Like just Sam Rockwell in general. Like, I don't care what he's in, I will watch it.
Yeah, I remember reading a story that he was in line to possibly be Tony Stark, or he was in the running for it before they picked Robert Downey Jr. He would have made a really good Tony, I think, but he works perfectly as Justin Hammer.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. perfect as Tony Stark. Him perfect as Justin Hammer.
Yeah,
we have to see him in Armor Wars, and I would just love for him to be like trying to mess with Tony's legacy, and Rhodey's just like, no, like just no, get out of here.
Just play the video from the court hearing in number 2. Like, is that Justin Hammer in there?
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
That was amazing.
The little nod in Doctor Strange 2 when he was going through cases when he was driving, or Doctor Strange, not Doctor Strange 2, sorry, when he's driving like a lunatic, and there's the nod to Iron Man with the soldier who had been injured in the dumbest way possible.
Oh my god.
Justin Hammer suit.
I'd like to point out that test pilot survived.
Yeah, survived. Obviously did not like not gonna be living the same life here, buddy.
Yeah, he's not gonna be having a good time.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man! Wow,
Hammer
we
tech.
saw Hammer time. Oh man, we saw Killmonger win. I wasn't necessarily.
I didn't see that coming.
Expecting that. That was very interesting.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that coming.
Yeah, so let's see. We've had
another cliffhanger.
So Killmonger won. Thanos sort of kind of won in the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In episode 3,
Loki won.
Yeah, Loki won.
Yeah. And Pym semi won.
I'm still annoyed with the way that Hank Pym left, where he's like, "You honor her." I'm like, that's such a cop out. He should still be trying to kill Nick Fury. That was so dumb.
It was a great story for him up till that.
Yeah, just have him still be evil.
Episodes 1 and 2 are so far the only ones where the good guys actually won.
They get closure, yeah.
Because like in Doctor Strange, he kind of destroyed himself, so there's no like good guy bad guy there.
Yeah, no one won in 4.
Yeah.
Oh god, nobody won. No.
That but I mean, I guess evil Doctor Strange kind of won, but didn't.
Immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he swallowed up the original Doctor Strange. He's like, I regret this decision.
He's like, I won. Christine evaporates. Crap.
Damn it.
Crap.
So that's interesting though. So for the next episode, like the bad guys have to keep winning at this point, right? In order for this to play out the way
who's the bad guy in Party Thor?
That's a great question.
Buzzkill Thor?
Boring Thor pops up. It's just like
like Thor 1 Thor.
No, Thor 2. Come on.
Yeah.
Or Loki in this universe is just like some straight-laced business dude.
He's like wearing a suit.
Oh Lord.
I keep telling you, Thor, you need to grow up.
Thor, I'm not sure that this is the best use of our resources.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm thinking what we still have coming. We still have the Black Widow episode where she's supposed to be living in that post-apocalyptic, post-Ultron winning world. We still have the Party Thor episode, and that only leaves one more episode.
Right. It's either Tony Stark's Sakaar or Gamora Tony Stark. It's one of those. It's got to be.
Yeah, because there's been reports on all 4 of those, and we only have 3 weeks left. I mean, unless they're doing a surprise 10th episode.
No, one got pushed. They said one got pushed.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I'm curious to see what actually makes it into this season.
I want Grandmaster to be DJ in Party Thor's party, though. I feel
we have to get more Goldblum.
I mean, anything that Jeff Goldblum is in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. Yay us.
So again, it's like Sam Rockwell. Like if you give me Sam Rockwell and Jeff Goldblum in the same movie.
Oh my God.
We need Justin Hammer and Grandmaster in the same movie.
Yes.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
And
Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, of course. But we need the one that was just in Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Trevor.
Trevor, yes.
He should be. Oh man, you know, it'd be perfect if he showed up in the next Thor movie as part of like the Asgardian play. Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be
amazing. Or something.
Yes.
So good.
Yes. I'm so in.
He's gonna be like, "Do you guys have the apes who can act?"
Oh my God. Yeah. Can I say Trevor Slattery in Shang-Chi? Just absolutely perfect. I loved him in that.
Weirdly endearing.
Right?
Yeah. And
like
insane.
you want to like him.
Insane. Like he's like, I became an actor because I found out that the apes in Planet of the Apes were actors. And you're like, yeah, dressed as apes. No, they were apes who are actors.
Like
they were
legitimately insane.
Right?
You have lost your marbles.
Was that written? Like,
did they just release Ben Kingsley into the wild in that movie and just let him go?
Were they like, you were inspired by Planet of the Apes, go? Or was that legitimately written?
Like, how much direction was given to him in that movie?
Right, they were just like, okay, so your motivation here, Ben, is when you were a kid, your mother took you to see Planet of the Apes, and it was because of that movie that you decided to become an actor. And then everything else was just on him.
He's just like, I got this.
I can't decide what's weirder, if that was actually legitimately written or if he just came up with it.
I'm kind of okay with either.
Yeah, either one. Both are impressive.
Right?
Oh my God, that was like the weirdest thing. I also loved, by the way, Aquafina's reaction to that was, Yeah, you do, dude. You found your passion. I'm like, you way more
I
freaked
loved
out
her
by
in that
this.
movie.
Like,
She was
literally,
great.
the other two in the back seat are looking at each other like, what the hell is happening right now?
So she's just like, this guy's crazy.
They're like, we're gonna die. This guy's our navigator. Are you kidding me right now? And then Aquafina's like, you do you, bro. You're awesome.
He's with a mythical eyeless dog.
Yeah, what was that? It had wings. Like,
well, it didn't have a head.
Morris.
It was just like a body.
It was just a body with wings and extra legs.
but it made noise.
It did. It did do that.
Yeah, I kind of want to say, you guys remember like the Ice Age movies, and they would do like they would do the shorts with Scratch, the saber-toothed squirrel.
The squirrel who ruins the world. Yeah.
That's what they need from like this thing that
Morris.
Morris. We just need like Morris shorts.
Oh my god.
I loved like we see all these majestic magical creatures, and there's like a just field of Morrises, and you're like, the hell are those?
Right?
Are those based on an actual like mythological creature? I'm
pretty sure they are.
If you know what it is, please tweet me what it is. I'm so curious what the myth behind that is.
Yeah.
I also loved Morris immediately played dead. That was fantastic.
Right.
I'm pretending Morris. It's acting.
That was amazing.
Flips over.
Back. Perfect. But getting away from us just laughing at some of the amazingness of Shang-Chi. I mean, I get why we just did, because that episode was dark, dude.
Right? That was a dark episode.
Yeah.
And that is saying something, because we've had no light episodes for the last like 3 weeks. I need Party Thor. I need it. Like, just give me Party Thor next week, please. Because we got Doctor Strange Destroys the Universe, Zombies, which had the most grotesque and gruesome Marvel stuff we've maybe ever seen.
But
and then Killmonger just like beat everyone.
Here's the problem with Party Thor, though, is what if Party Thor is just like the happiest moment of it, and then it just goes dark?
Well, it's also supposed to be Thor if he didn't have anything happen to him that happened to him in the first movie. It's going to be like what Tony was in this episode.
I'm sure it will have a tragic ending, but at least we'll have a giant alien party to start.
Right.
This didn't even have any happy. It was like Tony being funny for 5 seconds, and then, oh, by the way, Killmonger's totally scheming. Like,
it was Killmonger all along.
Hey, Party Thor is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, side note, it was Killmonger all along. Congratulations to WandaVision for winning 4 freaking. Congratulations to WandaVision for winning 4 freaking Emmys so far.
First Marvel thing to do that.
Yep, I'm sure it's gonna keep going next week.
Mandalorian won Emmys too.
Yeah, it won what 3 or 4 or something.
Something like that. Yeah. Disney Plus, like just
killing it.
Ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I like literally Party Thor is the only one I could think of that's like not gonna be tragic. They stacked the beginning of this with like fun, and then they were like, haha.
And then they were just like, nope.
Right? The first 2 were like, those were fun. Tricked you, haha.
I see what Spaceballs there's, Josh.
Man. So okay, so quick sidebar here, just because he had to mention that at Star Trek Day last week, I got to talk to Tim Russ, who in Spaceballs, when they are combing the desert, he is one of the 2 gentlemen that are using a pick that Dark Helmet calls as like, you find anything yet? And he's like, sir, we ain't found shit.
We ain't found shit.
And I was like, listen, dude, I've been a fan since Spaceballs. And he just looked at me and he was like, all right.
He like, didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was just like,
nice.
I don't know how to respond to that. It
just, my God.
Cracked up.
He's like, great.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was good. I'm looking forward to those being posted over on Jay's channel.
What that is, I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. We still need Spaceballs 3 the search for Spaceballs 2.
It's not. We wrote like let's type Party Thor into the Illuminerdi thing. Like there's an entire article about
I wrote that one up. wrote that one up like 3 months ago.
This is Shay.
Show me.
God.
Krishna, one of our writers is in the chat here. He says that they need to bring back Sam Rockwell in Armor Wars or something, and he wants to see DJ Grandmaster.
Agreed on both.
DJ Grandmaster. I feel like every time the Grandmaster shows up, he should just be DJing something.
Yeah.
Even if it has no context. Like, it's a giant, like, moment of, oh my god, the universe is about to explode, we're all gonna die. Cut to Grandmaster just DJ.
Party. Yeah.
Just
like
dancing the way he was
pacifier.
in his first scene in Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, he has to come back in some way for Love and Thunder. Like, he was too good to only use once.
He was in Australia.
I think so, yeah. So there's rumors about it. I hope so.
There were shots of him, like, with Taika out.
Nice.
I think. If I remember it correctly from like 2 or 3 months ago.
I want you to be right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I literally am like, looking back, you're right, Josh. The first 2 episodes, they were like, let's give you some fun stuff. And then we'll just like slap down any hope.
Well, the first 2 were easy to digest too. Cause like, I mean, especially one with, Peggy becoming Captain America.
One was an excellent intro episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it set the stage really well because it was simple. It didn't really change a ton. You had the Schumer Graf tease thing, but that was really the only like crazy different part of it. And then you even got the Avengers tease at the end of it too. And then it was kind of the same with episode 2, except for the crazy Thanos stuff and the weirdly ripped Collector. But
that's who.
Well, I mean, they modeled that on Benicio del Toro's body.
Right.
Okay. I don't even want to try and have a conversation about that.
Nope.
I'm good.
Mm-mm.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see the Collector and Grandmaster because they're like related. They're like brothers or cousins or something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I think they're cousins.
I mean, they're definitely from the same place because they both had the line.
Yeah.
Like
are they part of the whole Elders of the Universe, if I'm not mistaken?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. It's something along those lines.
But yeah, I want to see them together because I also feel like you have super over dramatic Collector and super over dramatic Grandmaster. You just want to see them like sass off at each other.
Oh, it'd be a total sass off. Plus Jeff Goldblum. Plus Jeff Goldblum.
Elders of the Universe.
Elders of the Universe.
Is what they're.
I was right. Nice.
They're a group of supervillains appearing in American comic books.
Yeah.
They are the last survivors of an otherwise extinct race. Each discovered that they had potentially infinite lifespans dependent on maintaining the will to continue living.
Hence, partying and collecting things.
Yeah. They're known for their personal obsessions, such as collecting contests of strategy or strength in various fields of study.
Contest champions. Yeah.
The slaves are escaping. I don't like that word.
Sorry, the prisoners with jobs have armed themselves. Yeah.
Or the melt stick.
Why are you handing me the melt stick? He was interrupting. It's not a capital offense.
What do I always call her? Trash. No.
Why would you use that word? It's not. It doesn't start with a B. Booze heck.
That's what I hope we see. Not only do I want, like, we know we're seeing Grandmaster. Please let's see his, what is she, General Security? I don't know. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Topaz.
Yeah. Topaz. Yeah.
Oh man, if she hadn't died, I really hope she didn't die because it looks like she died in the last one.
Yeah, but what if?
Oh yeah. Oh, in What If, that'd be amazing.
Anything's possible in What If.
Oh, absolutely.
Clearly, Killmonger just beat like the United States government and Wakanda and I guess the world, like
in the span of like a couple days.
Yeah, like a week.
Okay.
Tops.
So do you think Killmonger would be up to the task of going up against Thanos?
In his own head, I could see him having the overconfidence to try to do that.
I think he would have the strategic know-how to actually have a plan because remember, the Avengers went in with no plan. So
right.
They couldn't plan anything, yeah.
But because none of the stuff from the previous movies happened, he would have no idea that Thanos is coming.
Right,
we don't know that Thor is not going to land on Earth. We don't know that they're
True,
not going to
true.
find Captain America. I mean, like, we just, like, it basically just means there's no Iron Man and we're not going to see Black Panther join the Avengers. Okay.
Or War Machine.
True. But I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I love Rhodey, he doesn't do much with the Avengers.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
assuming
yeah,
he
no,
went
that's fair.
by like phase 4.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's
when we-
powerful, but he's not like a key team member.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he will become more of one.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
with
excited for Armor Wars.
Ironheart stuff, but
I just want to
Yeah.
know what the actual story is going to be. Like,
Me
like
too.
what are they going to do?
Me
Yeah.
too.
something with Rhodey. That's about all we got right now.
Yeah. Well, Disney Plus Day is in what, like a month and a half, 2 months or so. So hopefully we'll find out more info there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, Killmonger won in like a week. We didn't see Nick Fury at all. We saw no shield, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, nothing on that front.
Which I guess makes sense to a degree because we didn't see Iron Man, but you'd almost expect Nick Fury to be like, okay, Wakanda just got proven to be real, and
Killmonger's now in
super
charge of it.
dangerous. Like, yeah, I feel like I would have liked a post-credit scene with Nick Fury in some capacity because we haven't gotten one of those little like I guess last week we did with Thanos.
Yeah,
So-
sort of.
Ish,
Sorta.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we didn't get that kind of like almost tag at the end of the episode this week. Like
Yeah.
last week we sort of did, 4 we didn't, which made sense because
Yeah. Well, like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to when we got him for like the other shows. WandaVision, the first one didn't come till episode 7. I'm almost positive.
well, I don't mean like the post-credit scene. I mean like the little like tag at the end we got in like 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that we're gonna get a post-credit scene unless we get it at like the finale and it ties into Doctor Strange 2 or something.
You know, actually, nothing exclusive, no actual information on it. I was talking with some of my guys over at the Direct. Some of them are thinking that maybe we might get like a live action post credit scene, maybe teasing like Captain Carter and Doctor Strange, something like that. That would be super cool. Like just the
Like
way
a
it's how
good piece would be animated Shuma McGrath becoming live action Shuma McGrath would be very cool.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
So from what I understand, I don't know if this has changed at all. Both of you guys would probably know a little bit better than I do, but the Marvel TV shows are not supposed to be. Well, they're tying into the movies, but you're not going to need to know what happened in the TV shows to understand what's happening in the movies, right?
We don't know that
so
for sure yet.
They have said that you can watch them separately, which makes sense because you don't want to say to someone, hey, if you want to go see Doctor Strange 2, you have to watch WandaVision and Loki and What If.
Mm-hmm.
Which are all 6 hours. Yeah.
Right. Like that'd be kind of
That'd be a
hard
lot.
to do.
Yeah.
But you like even if you're doing a tease that ties into a movie on this, it would still work because you're just teasing it. So if you go and see the movie and you see you already know it's multiverse because it's in the title, and I'm sure we're gonna get some kind of expositional thing going on with it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now we have like Captain Carter or Dark Doctor Strange, who I'm assuming we're also getting because that's super easy to do. You just give them different facial hair and a costume.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how will they do it? It's Benedict Cumberbatch. So
yeah. He already played Dormammu.
Right, you have them pop up, and then again, you're gonna have some little like expositional thing. So while you don't have to watch the shows, it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna help. Like, you can watch Infinity War without watching the rest of the Infinity Saga. You're gonna be super confused.
Oh yeah,
but you can do it. Like with this, I don't think you'll be super confused, but it will be additive, which is why I think having it maybe be animated that transitions into live action as we see it could be cool, or just a live action tag at the end of it would be very cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really interesting to see how it happens because my question is how kind of the movies are gonna, because as we're going, the movies are getting more and more complicated.
Oh yeah.
Because especially like Infinity War and Endgame are really good examples. If you haven't watched the rest of the Infinity Saga, it's like
you have
good
no
luck.
idea what's going on.
Yeah. And then the next batch of like even Spider-Man, you're like, hey, remember those Spider-Man movies from Sony? You
From
don't?
20 years ago.
Bummer. Like,
sorry.
Yeah, man.
So they're becoming a little more complicated. And if you haven't kept up to date or you've only watched some of the movies, I think it's going to get harder and harder to follow. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the general audience as Marvel continues.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like no good jumping on point to jump into the MCU now.
Well, at this point, it's been going on for 13 years. I think at this point, you're kind of either in or you have a lot of work to do to catch up.
Like, so like other franchise movies, not necessarily comic book franchises, but like Indiana Jones. You don't necessarily need to see the other Indiana Jones movies to understand what's happening in each movie individually. Mission Impossible. You could jump into any of those Mission Impossible movies, and you might not necessarily know who some of the characters are. James Bond. Yeah, that's another. The Fast and the Furious movies. You could probably jump in somewhere around like 6. And understand what was happening in 7 and 8. Like, you would know.
Yeah. Can you? Those make no sense. Period.
I mean, so I hadn't seen 8, but I did see 9, and I understood what was happening in 9, mostly because I knew who some of those characters were. So seeing like one of the other movies that has the setup, for that movie, you would like. I don't think you would be necessarily missing a lot. The Marvel movies. Like, I don't know that you could pick up anywhere in the middle of any of the movie, like in any of the phases.
Avengers. Like, Avengers is the only one where you could maybe skip the ones ahead of that. Cause
the first Avengers?
Yeah, because it's like, okay, you don't know the backstory on all these superheroes, but you know what their powers are, and they're fighting aliens.
Well, especially with the whole with the Mark Ruffalo and Norton change, they do a good job of like explaining those movies with his story. And I mean, Hawkeye was in the MCU for 3 minutes before Avengers, and
if that,
But I mean, that's a good point. That's kind of the only really team up movie you can go into it that blind on.
I mean, like the other, like you can jump into Shang-Chi, but you can't jump from Shang-Chi to, or you can probably jump into Eternals, but you can't jump from there to be like, cool, I haven't seen anything. I'm gonna watch
now.
Spider-Man
I'm gonna go see Doctor Strange 2 or No Way Home.
Or Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Well, the thing I'm curious to see too is like the only crossover we've gotten between the Disney Plus shows and the movies so far has been the Yelena thing at the end of Black Widow with Val.
Well, WandaVision teased it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's the thing is we haven't seen that come into play yet. We won't see it till Doctor Strange 2. So I'm really curious to see like what happens with the rest of these movies that are coming out, because we still have the end of What If. We got Hawkeye coming out next year's going to be a bunch of.
We have Eternals for movie wise. We have Eternals and Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to see what happens when like the movies start coming out next year, like how Doctor Strange will tie into WandaVision, how it'll explain what happened in WandaVision for people who haven't seen it or whatever.
I mean, there's a really easy way to explain it. WandaVision went crazy, and now she has the Darkhold.
Yeah, pretty much. Wanda leveled up.
I mean, you could probably do like a 3-minute recap of WandaVision at the beginning of, not necessarily at the beginning of Doctor Strange 2, but like within
when her character comes in.
And when her character comes in, you can just be like, oh, well, all this stuff happened, and then a little pop-up will come up on the screen, and be like, to see what she's talking about, tune into Disney Plus to
previously on Disney Plus.
Like you see that in comic books every once in a while. Like you'll see that in the little corner with an asterisk, be like, this happened in this episode.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Hey, literally bring back previously on WandaVision.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like they're also gonna have things like they'll be like, oh yeah, Loki broke the multiverse. Like they'll just like, because that's really all you need to know from Loki.
Well, yeah, he's supposed to show up in Doctor Strange 2 also.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Doctor Strange like backhanding him back to the TVA.
You idiot.
Well, I mean, that could be interesting too. Is like Loki popping up to explain to Doctor Strange what exactly is happening.
Like, I screwed up, big time.
Would you want to go?
Funny story.
To Doctor Strange, what happened? I feel like anyone who does that, it's gonna be like, so
here's the thing.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
no, it's not explaining it to Doctor Strange. They're explaining it to Wong, because clearly it looks like Doctor Strange is gonna do some nonsense in Spider-Man: No Way Home. So it's
absolutely.
sitting there like, why do you all do this? I was gone for 10 minutes.
I was gone for 10 minutes and it all turned to shit.
Poor Wong.
Poor Wong. That dude's in for a rough run.
I mean, I still need to know why the Sanctum is frozen over. Like that's
we need to see that.
It's so weird. I love it. It's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to take place around Christmas, right? So maybe something with that, but
Is it gonna be related to Hawkeye? Because they're both in New York.
I mean, great. Well, Richard, you weren't here for my
okay. Something
fan
happened last
theory.
week.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my theory is that during that 5-year gap, time gap in between the blip and people coming back, no one was maintaining the sanctum and no one was paying the electric bills. So so all the stuff inside of it just went apeshit and it froze over.
The ceiling.
And no one fixed it. It's just so it's still just in need of repair.
Spells are going berserk and
there's like layers of ice everywhere. And Josh is like, they didn't turn the heat back on. Like,
the radiator froze over. I mean,
like you're from Florida, right?
Yeah. I've had plenty of air conditioners that have frozen over because they had to work overtime because of the heat.
Oh my god!
Like inches of ice inside of a freezer. Like because someone didn't shut the door properly, and so it just like all condensed and
all
it's just
frozen
over.
And then you're like, clearly this is what happened to the sanctum since it happens with your freezer.
Oh god! Yep, because we can relate movie mystical magic to what happens with a freezer.
Meanwhile, me and Richard, who have grown up in like places where there's snow regularly, are like, yeah, sure, that tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I was living outside of Philly, we would regularly have snow melt and then fill and like leak, like find its way into our basement through, like openings or whatever, and then we'd be like going down the stairs into the basement and there'd just be ice.
Yeah.
So that's what you think happened to the saint?
Oh my god!
Okay, if it can happen to me, why can't it happen to them?
Yeah, no, they're not gonna say it's like a spell or something. It's just gonna be like, what happened? And Doctor Strange's like, didn't turn the heat back on.
It's like over the course of one winter, 10 feet of snow just filled up inside of there.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps freezing itself over.
Still, the best part of that scene is gonna be Doctor Strange in basically a parka and sweatpants with the cape on. That is one of my new favorite costumes.
He's not using magic to keep himself warm. He's like, nah, I'll go with sweats. It's fine.
Yeah, North Face works just great.
He wasn't a sorcerer his whole life, so
this looks great with the cloak. This totally matches.
Really quick, Ryan Buetta, one of our writers and members of the Illuminerdi, is here in the chat, and he said that each episode is getting darker and darker and darker, and he loves it. So do we.
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm as on board with loving it because I just want a really fun nonsense thing to come back, at least for one episode. But
agreed.
It's been fun. This episode was like crazy impressive.
That shit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I wish they could have gotten Jeff Bridges back, but
it still doesn't beat out like the Doctor Strange one for me.
Yeah.
But it felt very similar to episode 3 in that whole, like episode 3 of the murder mystery, and here it was sort of the espionage from the villain's perspective, which was very cool and not something we've ever seen in the MCU. It's kind of what I'm liking about this. Not only is it different genres, it's just stuff we haven't seen in the MCU ever.
Yeah, and that actually brings up an interesting question I wanted to ask you guys. I have to think about this for a second. For me, what's been like your favorite episode so far for whatever reason out of the 6 we've gotten?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Okay. I really, really like those. Yeah. I was going to say 4.
I'd say 2 and 5. Like, I really enjoyed the zombie episode.
That'd probably be my top 3.
But I also really enjoyed seeing Star-Lord T'Challa.
Yeah. Star-Lord T'Challa was just super fun. And I love a heist. Like, I'm a sucker for heist stuff. So that was great. And then, like, 4 for me was just, like, it had, like, the time travel stuff going on and tragic and everything. But, yeah, episode 5 was a really good look into MCU as horror. And it was very interesting how they, like, because if you take out a lot of that comedy, holy crap, that episode was dark.
Oh yeah,
dark as hell.
But even with 2, with seeing T'Challa as Star-Lord, it's not. I mean, it was an event that changed how things happened, but it wasn't because of the event. It was because of who T'Challa is as a person. Right. He's the one that made all like that made the difference there. Yeah, it was because they picked him up by accident, but in this one, it was an event. It wasn't like Eric Killmonger was still the same guy that we saw in Black Panther.
Oh,
Things
yeah.
just worked out a little bit differently. We saw T'Challa actually change people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he changed the
I thought-
entire world around him.
I thought that was a really interesting
Yeah.
way to do it.
It was almost like Killmonger changed the world for the worse, not because he changed people,
For
but
himself.
because he got rid
Right.
of the people that stood in his way.
Yeah, it through his actions, not through him as a person.
His heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing I love is the contrast, like specifically between those two episodes. You saw like the essence of what each character was, even in this different universe. Because Killmonger took the resources that Tony Stark gave him and basically made it so that he could be a king in this, war-driven world, like just the way he wanted to be. And then T'Challa, he got kidnapped and taken and everything, but he was able to change the entire Ravager team into basically good guys. He turned Thanos into a good guy. How the hell did that happen?
Good-ish.
Yeah. He
Redeemed.
a toned down Thanos.
He still thought his plan was good, but he wasn't going to go through with it.
Yeah,
exactly. A toned down Thanos.
And also, Thanos didn't kidnap a shit ton of children, apparently, so that's always nice.
Yeah, there's that.
Krishna said at 4 and 5 are their favorite. Yeah, solid choices. I mean, they're both dark as hell. It's part of the reason I like 2 is 2 is just fun.
Right? Yeah, no, I love 2.
I mean, we know we are getting an episode that's going to be, because in my interview with the editors, which you can see on our YouTube page, one of them said their favorite episodes were 4, and then a zany episode that's coming up that's complete opposite of episode 4, which I'm assuming is Party Thor, because I don't know what else can be the opposite of that.
I would imagine, but I guess we'll see.
So that's kind of hope for. It'll be just fun, because I feel like you can't, the opposite of Doctor Strange is not tragedy. You know what I mean?
And I gotta say too, speaking of the interviews, I got to do a round with a couple of them at the Direct. I cannot believe I was able to get a Black Widow scoop out of the production designer, Paul Zane. He teased that next season there's gonna be an episode based off Black Widow. So yeah, I can't wait to see what
we're gonna see Red Guardian.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I just want an episode where it's instead of Black Widow story, it's just Red Guardian just being an idiot.
Yes.
Red Guardian needs to go out with Shang-Chi and Wong for karaoke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I've had Hotel California stuck in my head for probably 2 weeks. It's been quite fun.
I'm not a fan of that song. And the reason I'm not a fan of that song is when I was in college, I drove from the suburbs to the city to my school, which was an hour and a half drive each way minimum. I swear to God, that song was on every day. I don't know why, but I swear to God, every day, 6 a.m. I'm wanting to just murder everyone because it's Hotel California again. That song is so long.
Yeah.
It really is.
Was your eye just twitching in the movie theater when you heard it?
A little bit. I was I didn't mind it when you had Aquafina scream singing it, because that was just freaking hilarious.
That was amazing.
I love that that's their strategy, by the way. There's a fight. I'm going to sing the lyrics to freak them out. Let me try it with a literal ninja and see how that... Oh, it didn't work?
Shocker.
Live and learn.
Although, it did give him pause for a second. He did stop.
It made him think for a second. What the hell is happening?
It worked for Star-Lord.
It did. Dance off, bro.
Dance off, bro.
That is one of the greatest things to ever come out of the MCU.
6 minutes and 32 seconds is long for a song, Shay.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Most songs are shorter than that.
Most songs 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it keeps repeating the same thing. And you
the,
think it's done.
The guitar break is pretty long, I will say.
Not even that. The chorus. Every time you think it's over, it pops up again. It's just much.
So this comedy bit I've heard about November Rain.
Yeah, I'd probably like it way more if I hadn't heard it as often as I did.
Well, maybe if you think of it as
a Marvel song
analogy for IKEA.
I've never been to IKEA. I have no desire to go
Well,
to IKEA.
think of it like the Hotel California. You can check in
Shay's
anytime
looking at
you
me
like,
I'm insane.
Oh,
but you'll
God.
never be able to leave because you can't find your way out.
Also, speaking of IKEA, I can't wait for that part in Eternals when they're Icarus
the
is smashed. Was this made of vibranium?
Oh,
Fall
IKEA summer
collection.
collection.
IKEA. It's gonna be
They just
amazing.
looked at me like I'm the most crazy person ever when I said I've never been to IKEA. I'm not even kidding. I live 5 minutes from IKEA. Never been.
Wow. Maybe it's because you're so close.
There's some good
No, it's
stuff.
because my cousin made me build her frickin' bookcase.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah. IKEA.
She's like, because I like built my own, and she's like, can you come over and help me build it? Sure. Helping to build means, can you put it together?
Yeah.
It's an improvement.
IKEA is frustrating instructions. I don't like them.
Yeah,
It's
you
an improvement
always
on the
have pieces
Cristal.
left over.
Which you shouldn't. That's like a giant red flag with any other type of thing you're putting together.
It's like, wait, I've got 3 screws but only 2 holes.
Yeah. The best thing to come out of IKEA was when Deadpool used it in the first Deadpool movie, and they actually used the real name. I was thinking of an Imnes or a tree still over the.
Well, I think that was the funniest part of it was that IKEA was like, yeah, sure, use us, but you have to pronounce everything correctly.
I didn't get excited until I saw the cooling.
I think my favorite is how much of the budget he spent on the T-shirt at the beginning of the movie.
That was amazing. The B. Arthur shirt. We spent like 10 grand on that.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I don't even think it was the budget for. I think it was like his own money.
I think he paid his own money. Yeah.
I mean, when you have that kind of money.
Exactly. When you have Ryan Reynolds' money, that's
video he made. That's like.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest things I've seen in a while with Will Ferrell.
I were singing.
Yeah.
Oh.
The look of complete confusion is amazing too.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds could read the phone book and it'd be funny.
Yeah.
That's why I was so disappointed that Green Lantern was so bad because I thought he was good for the role, just not with the story or the script.
It's so high in the Netflix top 10. Have you seen that?
Right? Yeah. Wasn't it like 5 or 6 or something?
I think it was like 1 or something for a minute.
Oh Lord.
So hopefully that means that we'll get a sequel because
yes, Krishna, IKEA sucks. Yeah. You're totally right.
Also looking at that movie that had Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi in it, and it still sucked.
Had a lot of people
Blake
in it.
Lively.
Blake Lively.
And Blake Lively.
Tim Robbins.
Oh yeah, huh?
Not Viola Davis.
It still is my favorite thing that like the people that made that Green Lantern built the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
And are now doing another Green Lantern. And to me, I almost want to ask, like, did you only build the Arrowverse so you'd have another shot at Green Lantern to be able to go, I know how to do this right. I swear.
So what I think happened is there was a lot of studio interference with that first Green Lantern
movie. Oh, absolutely. There had
Martin Campbell has admitted, he was like, listen, I should have turned this down. I'd never done a superhero movie before. I was like, all right, sure, I'll give it a shot. And we all saw how that worked out. So, so like he knows. He knows. So
that's
like
my favorite.
At least he knows.
How that worked out.
Right?
So like I feel like there was a lot wrong with that movie, but I don't know that I can blame Greg Berlanti for it.
Yeah.
Because like as much as the stuff on CW is kind of like the first couple of seasons are usually pretty good until they get themselves in too deep. Right. Superman and Lois, I really enjoyed the first season of that. Stargirl, I haven't caught up on season 2, but that first season was really good. Doom Patrol is probably my favorite DC like live action DC show.
Doom Patrol and Legends of Tomorrow are fantastic. They're both like just going, you know what? We're gonna do whatever the hell we want. We don't care. And it's
Legends of Tomorrow, I've been kind of with for the past couple of seasons. I
like it because they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
they just do whatever they want. Like the characters are just fun.
Yeah, like the episode this past season with the bowling alley where they like stole Earth and they had a bowl to win Earth back. I thought that was great. The
bowling ball. Like Earth is like just real quick before you say it, Richard, so that you know, Earth is basically having an apocalypse happen that no one can figure out because it's a bowling ball. So like,
didn't they do it at the end of Men in Black too?
No, those
I
were
have no
marbles.
idea.
Marbles, right.
But nothing happened to Earth. It was just in the galaxy that Earth is in was just in a marble.
Right.
No. Yeah, this was legitimately Earth was like a bowling ball, so gravity was messed up. The sun would get blocked out. Like it was.
Oh my god.
Giant
ridiculous.
holes showed up.
Yeah.
So they could stick their fingers into
They
it.
were the bowling. They were.
Wow.
It was a fun episode. My only issue with it was that it felt like they realized that Legends of Tomorrow was in the same territory now that Doom Patrol is, and they're like, how can we make a really weird episode like Doom Patrol does? Because like that legit felt like it should have been an episode of Doom Patrol,
Right.
but it didn't hit. I don't think it hit the same way that the Doom Patrol episodes do. It was still fun.
Well, part of it too is like CW versus essentially HBO Max. Like they are different.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of this season though was Gary's an alien. Oh, that tracks.
Yeah, like what? Okay.
So weird. And then looking back, even though you're like, I'm sure they had no idea about that. Like, since they introduced them in season like 3 or whatever, and I'm sure the actor had no idea. They just decided to do it. Yeah, but it still makes sense because he's so weird.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like, that's why I love Legends. Like, again, it's like Arrow's good for the first 2 seasons and then sort of goes off the rails and never really gets back. Flash at this point, like, I absolutely hated that storyline with this season where they're like our children.
Oh
but
my god.
Not. It was super weird. So yeah, I'm hoping we get a little bit back on track with some of these shows. A lot of hope, but who knows?
I just want Bebo to come back. That's all I want.
They had no idea that was gonna be as big as it was. That was freaking hilarious.
Not at all.
Right.
Bebo is like Legend of Tomorrow's like Tickle Me Elmo that they just made and exploded. Like both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like imagine like the end of Ghostbusters where it was like choose your destroyer, but it was like choose your champion, and the entire team of Legends all transformed into a giant Bebo.
Wow.
that fought like a giant dragon or something.
Yeah, it was a time demon. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. And like it's losing real bad, and then all of a sudden the leader takes over, and it's like who's Sarah Lance, who's a ninja essentially, and you have giant like blue and purple, basically Tickle Me Elmo in the ninja pose, like bring it, and you're just like, what is happening? What is this TV show?
Wow.
So good. Back to Marvel. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we went a little bit of tangent.
I would love a Marvel show that was like that though. Like DC, when it gets weird, works really well. I want a super weird Marvel show.
Maybe that's where they go with the zombies thing.
I mean, it's a little dark. Like, even Marvel Zombies comics are super dark. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But at least the Marvel episode, Spider-Man was not, like, just the most tragic character ever.
If they made a Marvel zombie series that was basically Zombieland, but with Marvel characters, I'd be okay with that.
That'd be pretty good. That'd be fun.
I'd watch that. I think Caitlin's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, we'll see what that ends up being from out there.
At least on my screen moving again.
There you go. You're good.
No, I mean, I know we're getting more animated stuff, so I'm curious what that's gonna look like. I'm hoping we get kind of a crazy show with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't I Am Groot supposed to be animated?
Yeah. That was it. Is that a show? That's a show, right?
Yeah, that's a Disney Plus thing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like 99% sure it's a Disney Plus show.
But is that MCU canon, or is it going to be more like the Avengers cartoons? And
I have no idea.
It probably could be canon because I think it's Baby Groot, so it's probably just him screwing around and doing whatever on the ship. So it probably wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Well, plus we got that at the end of next year and the holiday specials before Guardians 3. So
yeah. I know James Gunn just like finished like a whole bunch of storyboards for Guardians 3. He posted Twitter. It was like 230 pages. I'm like, that's a lot. Like I can't draw. So the idea of drawing like 230 pages of storyboards Like
that would take me about 5 lifetimes to do.
Yeah.
I mean, think about what if is storyboards bastically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. For me, it would all be stick figures with like the name of the character inside the face.
Yeah.
Like
it would be a giant circle. I'd be like, this is Spider-Man.
No, it's a stick figure, but you draw a name tag on it.
Yeah.
My name is Spider-Man. I'd watch that
label
show.
all the background stuff. You're like, this is a tree.
Right. Oh man.
That would be me too.
Yeah.
We would have the worst. We would have like the worst animated.
Yeah, you'd have the voices though. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I
kind of stuff I'm fine with.
Save our drawing skills.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I mean this episode was really solid. It was super dark. It was super interesting. I'm like, I mean, one of the things I'm so interested in is I'm like, okay, in the mid-season like sneak peek trailer thing, we saw Pepper and Shuri working together. So we're gonna have a follow-up, I assume, in this season.
Yeah, because there's not really any deleted scenes, I would assume.
No, and if there were, like in the trailer.
Yeah, you generally don't have a lot of deleted scenes with animation. Like sometimes you will, but
rarely though.
Yeah, anymore they're usually like down to the.
They're like animatic.
Specific, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we have that. I'm assuming Killmonger's gonna kill T'Chaka at some point. So
I'd assume so. He's killed pretty much everybody else who's been in front of him.
Probably.
Right? And he kept talking about vengeance for his father, and I'm like, well, you're gonna kill the guy that actually killed your dad, right? Like.
Yeah, he killed everybody else except the guy who killed his dad.
Yeah, and I so want payoff for T'Challa threatening him. Like,
yeah,
I would love to see Killmonger die at the end of this season, and then it's like, you done screwed up, buddy. Like,
yeah, told you.
Right? Like, now what are you gonna do? That was really
man.
That we saw T'Challa, not his dad.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I almost expected to see both and have them.
Yeah, they'll fight in the Soul World.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me interested too in like Black Panther 2 because we're gonna get a new Black Panther. So
right,
how we're gonna see that work out in the Soul World. Also, like all the plants got destroyed, so I'm really curious of how we're gonna get a new Black Panther.
Yeah, there was only the one that Nakia saved, and that was for T'Challa. So,
I mean, unless they were able to snip pieces off of the leaf and grow
save
new
a couple
ones
and replicate them.
They found a seed and they're like, perfect.
Yeah, maybe they got lucky.
Yeah,
Smart.
I don't know.
They'll make it work.
Oh yeah, they'll make it work.
But yeah, I mean, 3 more episodes. Let's hope for at least one happy one.
I hope so.
Come on, party Thor.
Just one. Just one.
Yeah, that's all we need.
I mean, let's be real. The penultimate and episode and the finale are not going to be like happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not getting the Guardians of the Multiverse together and then going, okay, it's time for like a networking event where you have fun stuff happen. Like, no. Like,
oh my god. Right.
Like, it's going to be Shubarath or zombies or I'm guessing not Killmonger because he looks like he's part of the team, but he also could be like making a deal with Ultron or something. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's going to be crazy. But yeah, Killmonger just
murdered everybody.
The world. Yeah. I mean, it was like you said, Killmonger had the very similar motivation, and then we saw Tony Stark without like humility or his need for redemption with his second chance at life. So
well, I don't know because like if you look at the end of was it not Civil War, was it Civil War where like he went up against Steve and Bucky.
Yes.
And he was like
Civil War.
But you killed my parents, man. And just it's like I can't forgive that. So like with that, like seeing him there, that I think it totally fit within his character here in this episode where he was like, you killed my best friend. I need justice.
I'm not arguing that it was against his nature, against his character, because I think at the core he's the same in that way. But what was interesting is we don't see him because like when he's forever changed by the events in Afghanistan, both those it's one of those things that fans will point out, like him throwing up the peace sign. It's like that's totally got to be tied back to that young soldier who died, and him basically trading his life for the prisoner that helped save him. Like he feels this need to kind of like find redemption or prove that he is worthy of these sacrifices.
Yeah,
we really have that
he
here.
feels the responsibility.
It pushed him in the other direction. Like he saw what he was doing, but he lived.
Yeah.
And
then he probably felt invincible.
Yeah, no one else died because of him. So he was like, well, obviously, bigger weapons are the answer.
Right. So that was really interesting because that's almost why I was almost hoping we get a full-on kind of villainous Tony Stark of being like, oh, you have a way to get vibranium. Cool. I'll sponsor you in whatever you're doing. Like, obviously, when they killed Rhodey, that was totally off the table. But if it had played out slightly differently, that could have been a really interesting turn of events, too. But, like, I'm really curious about why he basically showed Wakanda to the United States government. Because
it's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, the bombs won't get through the force field.
I think it was a threat.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, hey, we're here,
Come and get us.
Come get us, yeah.
Bring it.
Because even though they're like, we're going to use the Jericho, you're like, well, Thanos' giant spaceship thing didn't get through for a good while, so I feel like your little bomb isn't going to work.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so what would you rate this episode out of 5?
I'd say a solid 3.5 to 4.
I'd say 4.
Yeah, I'd give it at least a 4. Maybe a 4 or 5. Because I don't think there was anything that I didn't like about this episode. Honestly, I'm gonna give it 5. You know what? Fuck it. It hit all the marks. I don't have any complaints. It was good. It was entertaining. The pacing was good. The character development, like I said, nothing. Even within this world of What If, nothing felt out of character for anyone that was in this episode. It was just a good, solid episode, and I can't find any faults with it to deduct any points for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked more T'Challa, but that's just like story-wise, it wouldn't have improved with it. It was one of those things where it's like, wow, that hits a little different that you just killed T'Challa.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think part of it too for me why it's maybe a 4 or 5 is following up on Doctor Strange and Marvel Zombies. It was gonna be tough. It was gonna be a tough act to follow. But I think your comparison to episode 2 is really smart because, both of these really, it was like it showed who these characters were at their core. With T'Challa, it was he's still the same at his core to the point where he can change the universe. Here it was Killmonger is still the same at his core. You give him some more tools, he's gonna
destroy the universe.
Yeah. So I'm really curious. I'm also really curious what we're gonna see with Star-Lord, T'Challa, and Killmonger, Black Panther.
Yeah, if they meet up, holy crap.
Well, it looks like they do. I mean, they're standing like in the same little circle with the other ones in the promo.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be really, really interesting. It's like, didn't I kill you? What now? Like.
So what now?
Yeah. So. No, I think this is a solid episode. I think it did fall into the espionage in a way we haven't really had because episode 3 was more of the murder mystery, and I love that we had so much Black Panther music. I love the Black Panther music. Cool. It's so good.
Yeah.
And we had like a lot of versatility just in the production design because you went from that Tony Stark like sleek look to the Wakanda, which is also sleek but a little bit of like nature and advanced in a different way. So it was really interesting. And they brought Ross in, which was not what I expected at all.
Yeah, I mean, I could have seen it coming, but it was definitely shocking a little bit.
Yeah. So no, I thought it was a really, really good episode. Again, it was solid. It was a hard follow up to the other two.
Yeah. Like it's not a bad episode by any means. I just think some of the other ones are just like top notch.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put this in my top 3, not because it's not a good episode, just because.
Right. Yeah.
I'm also just not the biggest Killmonger fan.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
I
me
mean
either.
that's also one of the rough things. Like if you get like 5 episodes, I mean here in this case you get 6 episodes that are all really good.
Yeah.
Something's gonna have to be 6.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why, like, you know, if you look at my MCU rankings, which you can find up on our letterbox if you search the Illuminerdi on letterbox, that's the only list that's up there right now is my MCU rankings. Like a lot of the movies that I have in the middle could easily swap 5 places up or 5 places down.
Oh yeah.
Just because like the middle grouping,
Yeah.
Not that any of those movies are bad, but I don't necessarily like any one of them any more, any less than another one. So it's really hard to say, well, this one is 5 and this one is 6. But 7 is I enjoy that one more than 5 sometimes. So it's like really hard to put those in order.
For me, I'd say anything in my top 10 could have some kind of an argument to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a certain kind of person who likes a certain kind of movie, you could probably look at my top 10 MCU movies and make an argument for just about all of them as the top MCU movie.
Well, they're all also so different. Like it'd be like comparing Winter Soldier to Shang-Chi or like Thor Ragnarok. You're like, they're all great. They're super different though. Like if you're in the mood to watch like a super ridiculous comedy and you're like, oh, I'm going Winter Soldier, probably not going to work for you as well.
As Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah.
I mean, you look at Guardians of the Galaxy compared to Winter Soldier. Yeah, I mean, those two are really close in my rankings, and they're just like on the other end of the spectrum. And they came out back to back with each other in 2014.
Yeah. But I mean, like you could also take Winter Soldier and put it in like a whole group of other, you know, like Winter Soldier would fit with from like the 90s, like Sneakers. It would fit with a movie like almost any of the Mission Impossible movies. It would fit with those.
Mm-hmm.
Like it outside of the comic book movie, it is just a solid political espionage film.
Yeah.
Political thriller, yeah.
And I mean, bringing that back to What If, it's that moment of like I'm sure for most people, the Captain Carter one is probably going to be the lowest just because it's the least crazy. And I don't necessarily argue that they're wrong, but it's still a really good episode.
I loved that episode. Yeah.
Yeah. And this episode, really good. Like very, very good. It's tough to follow like Dark Doctor Strange and zombies because those are probably two. They're going to be the top. Like like either zombies or Doctor Strange is probably going to be most people's top of the list, or like T'Challa. Yeah. But this was really good. It covered a lot in one episode. Yeah. It's kind of like what we said last week. It's like, holy crap, they did a lot of story in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at my bottom 3, it's probably this one, the Hank Pym, that one, number 3, and number 1. And they're all really good. Like I really enjoyed all 3 of those episodes. They just don't rank as high for me compared to the others.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you're not saying this one has an A and this one has an F. You're like, these have A pluses, these have A minuses.
This one's a 99. Yeah. This one's maybe a 91.
And you know, and that's all taste, because like like I'm not big into like mafia, like gangster type movies. So things like Heat, the Godfather movies, like that's just not something that I'm into. I think they're really good, solid movies that deserve the praise that they get. But like for me, if you put that up against, something like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, it's completely, or Jaws. Yeah. All 3 of them are completely different movies, but I'm always going to either watch Close Encounters or Jaws. Like I'm not gonna pick The Godfather. It's just because that's not what I'm into. And I think that's what I like about what Marvel is doing, especially with these, is that it's giving a different kind of thing for like a multitude of tastes. And I honestly I hope that both Marvel and DC kind of dig into that a little bit more and realize that it's not just a comic book movie, it's a movie. And you can do give me make Blade like a good horror movie. You can make Plastic Man like a really solid comedy. There's lots of things that you can do to kind of break out of the stereotypical comic book movie genre.
Yeah, I like that Marvel, especially with origin movies and like sequels, I really like that they are, they're comic book movies, that they also play with other genres. Like the fact that we got a Kung Fu Marvel movie, amazing, fantastic. I loved it. And then Captain America, we got a full-on World War II movie, and then we got, like you said, a political espionage thriller movie. So the fact that they play with those different genres, and the fact that that's really, really prominent in What If. I also now want a Mafia Marvel episode, Josh.
I mean, that would be good. I want an esoteric, high level sci-fi movie. Give me something with Marvel that's in the cosmic domain, that deals with the Celestials. That's a 2001 type movie. It's something like that that's cool. Really out there, but takes all these characters that we not all these characters that we know, but put the Marvel touch on it so that we get that. So we know what we're watching. We know that what we're watching is a Marvel movie, but at the same time, it's something completely different.
Yeah. So now I'm also now what is the Marvel equivalent to a Mafia episode of What If? I can't figure it out, but I so want to see it.
I mean, it would have to be something with the Kingpin, right?
Right.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, they could do that.
What if the Kingpin killed Daredevil?
They could do that, but they could also put it in like cosmic, have it be cosmic Mafia. That would be really interesting. Ooh, I don't know. But yeah, this was, I think, if I was going to label it as anything, I guess it would be espionage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So that was really interesting because this is not necessarily, I wouldn't have expected the espionage episode to be from the perspective of the villain.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really interesting. And he won. There's no question about it. I hope we get.
Oh, he totally won.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we get follow-up, and I'm assuming we're gonna get follow-up, but I also hope we get follow-up on every episode that has had a little button set up.
Totally.
So, no, man. I mean, yeah, really, really solid episode. It hit all the counts in the creative and production department. Really, this whole show has. I mean, I think episode 1 probably had the most iffy with some of the voiceover acting.
Yeah.
I think they screwed around with the voices a little bit, especially Haley Atwell's, because there's a couple of those where you're like, ooh, you put a weird filter on that.
Yeah, a couple of those were a little weird.
But other than that, this has been really, really solid quality. So I continue to be impressed. I mean, we had there was a comic book shot in this one, similar to how we had that in episode 2, and you had kind of that the white streaks that made it look like he was running fast on the Rhino. And I love little details like that make it really feel oh, it's a comic book that came to life. So it's very cool. And yeah, again, it's looking back, you're damn, they did a lot in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They did it with episode 5 too. I was I mean, remember last week we were just holy crap, so much happened.
Right.
So no, I mean, it's we're 2/3 through now.
Yeah,
officially 2/3. Yeah.
It's three episodes, right?
Yep, we have 3 episodes left. We're gonna get a team up at some point. I'm wondering if it's gonna be at the end of episode 8, or if it's just gonna be in episode 9.
Right.
Man, yeah, I'm very excited for the last 3 episodes of this. I'm really excited for season 2 because I just this is the show that I'm yeah, just have this on forever.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
I hope this runs for a long time.
Going with this, yeah.
Yeah, the editors during our interview were this can go as long as The Simpsons, right? They were kind of kidding, but I'm no, it can't. It should go.
Right.
Long.
I hope so.
I think the one thing that they might run into eventually, though, is because they said that they're not going to introduce any new characters that we haven't seen in
yet.
Right?
I mean,
that they're waiting until they've made their appearance in the movie universe before they bring them into this.
I could see that changing with smaller characters as time goes on, depending especially how the incorporation of What If in Doctor Strange 2 works out.
Yeah.
So I think it could change down the line, but at the same time, it almost doesn't need to. I could watch something that has 20 variations of Tony Stark or 20 variations of I was going to say T'Challa, but I don't know that we would get that unless it was a different voice actor, and I almost don't want that, but I do. Right. But 20 variations of Hulk. I am totally down to see just tons of different stories. And also I'm assuming down the line they're going to have to do repeats of genres because you just
I'd assume so.
Right?
You can only do so much.
Yeah, so I'm really curious of like what that would look like, because you have the movies to pull from, but you also have the comics to pull from. So
Mm-hmm.
there's so much that they could do with this that I'm just excited, and I'm really
Yeah.
curious. Like with this being their first animated show, and knowing there's going to be more animated shows, I'm like, what else are you doing?
Right.
Like, what did this create?
They got something good going.
Yeah. So I think that's about all that we have to say, because it is almost 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You guys have
Yeah.
any final thoughts?
I don't think so. No, I'm good.
Bring on the last 3.
Yeah. So please join us back here next week for episode 7 of What If. We're not sure what it is. Fingers crossed for Party Thor. I need some laughs. Also join us tomorrow for Josh and I for the Star Trek Lower Decks watch log, where there are tons of laughs, because that show is just the definition of ridiculous. It's a very nice.
I'm excited for this episode too. It's gonna be fun.
They're all fun. They're all fun. It's a nice.
They are all
Nice opposite of this. We also have 4 different Power Rangers Sentai shows. We've got Illuminerdi Wrestling on Wednesdays. I don't know what you're doing.
Sundays. Wrestling is on Sundays.
Sorry. Illuminerdi Wrestling on Sundays. And like just tons of really great content on our YouTube channel, so be sure to check it out. And like I said, please join us back here again next week for the Illuminerdi Marvel Watch Along with episode 7 of What If. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you back next week. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Celsior.
Sure.